Warning, this content may be disturbing to some audiences. Subscribe. If you dare. I tried to blow out a candle with a can of compressed air. The candle did go out, but after a nice eruption of flames and spraying my dad and the walls with hot wax. Hey everybody, welcome to ANECDOSED. People ask Reddit. Have you ever done something very stupid that made you question your mental health? Number 1. Commenter. Today, I went to the ATM. Obviously, I've done this countless times before. No problem. Today the machine kept saying incorrect pins. I tried a couple of times, the same. Okay, so probably a faulty machine. I go to the shop, grab a Snickers and ask for cashback. I put in the pin. The machine there says incorrect pins also. Now I'm convinced there's something wrong with my card. I say that to the cashier, and walk out of the shop. I call up the bank and they say I was putting the wrong pin, and because I tried 3 times they locked my card. It must have been maybe 10 minutes of confusion after the call I realized I actually got the pin wrong by 1 number. I've no idea why I was so convinced I was putting in the right pin. I've done it so many times before without any problem. And so this lunch all I had was a snack from some spare change I had. Person B. I put my card in an ATM, started putting in my pin, but accidentally pressed the wrong number, so I hit cancel to try again. My card never came out. I pressed all the buttons and nothing happened. I went home, called up my bank to 10 minutes giving security questions so they could cancel the card and send me out a new one. 5 minutes later, I looked in my wallet and my card was sitting right there. I was well confused. The worst part? That was the second time I've done this. Number 2. One time I was going to the bank. I got halfway out of my neighborhood when I noticed I forgot the check I was depositing. I go back to get it and set off again. I get to the bank finally and notice I still don't have the check. My dumbass had popped my head in the door, picked up the check, set it right back down, did something else and left. Number 3. Last week, I picked up the basket of laundry, went downstairs to the laundromat, oops, forgot the washing powder, go back upstairs, get the powder, get downstairs, oops, forgot my change, go upstairs, get my change, go downstairs, oops, forgot the keys to the laundry room. Not a good bloody day. Number 4. Commenter. I was ironing my shirt one day, got done, put it on and realized a spot was missed. So I put the iron up to my chest and like a habit, I hit the steam button while pressing down. For the longest time I had an iron imprint on my chest/stomach, and yes, it hurt like hell. Person B. I did something kinda similar a couple days ago. I got done cooking dinner on the stove and there was still a pan sitting there, and instead of being rational, or sane and hovering my hand over it to see how warm it was, I picked it up and put it directly on my face. Thank God it wasn't hot, but I turned the sink off for a minute, sat down and seriously considered the idea that I wasn't in fact a moderately intelligent college student, but rather a semi-insane, accident-prone idiot. Number 5. About 2 days ago I decided to decorate our office and hang up our diplomas. I was using paper that looked similar to our diplomas for the background of the frame. I started cutting the paper to fit the frame when I realized I'm cutting my actual diploma. I knew I never deserved that thing. Number 6. Commenter. I have absolutely horrible short-term memory. For instance, when I'm in the shower, I occasionally can't remember whether or not I already shampooed, so I end up doing it twice just to be sure. I also lose things often, and I have difficulty following even simple instructions, as I just forget them, often within only seconds of having heard them. Person B. I am worse, I will be putting shampoo on my head and for a split second freak out because I think I am putting the wrong substance on my hair, like it's body wash or toothpaste. Then I realize I am being an idiot. Number 7. Commenter. Some 7 years ago when I still worked at a Starbucks, I showed up half awake for an opening shift and somehow locked my keys in my car, still in the ignition, with the engine still running. The damn radio was even still on. Person B. This summer I forgot my bag in a car I borrowed from my dad for a month. It was the first time I've had access to a car 24/7. The problem was that the car had 2 keys. One for the engine and one for the doors, and the key to the door was in my bag, along with my wallet. After calling my dad and crying for a while at home, I went to a gas station nearby. This is a weird question, but does someone here know how to break into a car? 2 guys worked on the problem with me for 2 effing hours before succeeding without breaking the lock. Good guy Greg's for real. Number 8. I tried to blow out a candle with a can of compressed air. The candle did go out, but after a nice eruption of flames and spraying my dad and the walls with hot wax. Number 9. Someone will say something right to my face. I will hear them, and be able to repeat what they said back to them, but I will have no idea what the words mean. They repeat it 5 or 6 times, until I finally give up. It doesn't matter how loud or how slow they speak, I just don't understand. Happens 1 a week minimum. Number 10. Once when I was younger, me and a friend were having a pillow fight. Said friend threw their pillow at me, missed, and smashed the light bulb above my head. Looking up, I have no idea what came over me, but I saw the 2 wires sticking out of the socket and an uncontrollable urge overtook me. I reached up, and touched them with my fingertips. I sent the main current through my body, spasmed wildly, and collapsed to the floor. To this day I still have utterly no idea why I did this. I knew what would happen, I wasn't so young that I didn't know about electricity. Number 11. Commenter. Open up yogurt. Threw the tub in the trash and kept the lid. Took me a few seconds to realize WTF was going on. Person B. I often finish the yogurt, throw my spoon into the garbage, and then stare blankly at the tub knowing something isn't right. Person C. I've done a similar thing. I walked into the bathroom with some dirty clothes that needed to go in the laundry basket in one hand, and a used tissue, that needed to be flushed down the toilet in the other. I proceeded to throw the clothes in the toilet and the tissue in the laundry basket. After I had done that, I just stood there for several seconds staring ahead blankly and thinking, why did I just do that? Number 12. Commenter. Leave work and hop on the bus. Get home only to realize that I drove to work that day. I've done this more than once. Person B. Yeah, I did this working downtown once. I get back to the park and ride and am searching for my car for 20 minutes. I thought my car was stolen and I was like, oh no, my laptop was in there. The laptop that I put in my car on my lunch break. Aw F. The bus ride was an hour each way. Number 13. Yup. Last week I drove to the gym for lunch, changed into my workout clothes, worked out and then drove back to work in my gym clothes. Wasn't until I was actually back at the office parking lot did I realize I'm in shorts. OF. Number 14. Every morning when I wake up. It takes my brain ages to catch up with WTF is actually happening. This morning my alarm went off, so I grabbed my phone and texted my girlfriend thinking that it was a text. I've also woken up because my phone was ringing and answered it by saying hello phone. To top it all off, if anyone calls me mid-nap and the conversation lasts less than 10 minutes, I won't remember a word of it when I wake up. Number 15. I was a cashier when I was younger, and I was very, very bored. One day I was playing with a stapler and talking to my coworkers, when I stapled my finger. I realized afterwards, while cleaning up the blood and being tended to, that I had decided to do that. It wasn't an accident. I decided to see how far I could push the stapler into my finger without getting a staple in the finger. It was just happening in the back of my mind while I was talking, functioning like a sane person. Weird experience. Number 16. Playing PlayStation, get up for a second and then, where's my controller? Check every room in the house even though I know I didn't go in there. Where do I find it? The refrigerator. I done smoked myself retarded. Number 17. I was walking home from work one night when I really had the urge to use the restroom. I'm a lady, so I really just can't pop a squat anywhere. I kept walking and just couldn't hold it anymore. I sat down on the curb and peed in my clothes. Honestly, I have never done anything like it before. I was completely sober. Then I walked home and ran upstairs to the shower. What? Now everyone else looks sane. Edit, it was broad daylight and there were people on the street. Night means early evening. Number 18. Yesterday I wanted to get the remote to change the channel. I got up and walked over to my jeans. I picked up my jeans and then took out my keychain. I stared at the keychain in my hand for about 5 seconds, count this out while doing something retarded, it's pretty long, before putting away the keys and asking myself what the F am I doing, TL, doctor, thought I could change the channel with my car keys. Number 19. One time I was at a friend's uncle's house, and they had a bunch of horses fenced in. The sign next to the fence said caution, electric fence. I thought it was a joke. I grabbed it once and obviously got electrocuted, but not enough to be in dire pain. I was convinced that the fence just scratched me, it was one of those twine/rope-like fences, and that a fence of that nature couldn't be electric. 10 minutes worth of grabbing and a small burn later, I came to the conclusion I was an idiot. Number 20. Commenter. Tried to swipe open the electronic door at work using my debit card. Stood there for a good 3 or 4 minutes, re-swiping, spitting on the strip, rubbing it against my sleeve to give it an electric charge, even pulled a bit of plastic wrap off my sandwich and smoothed it over the strip and tried it again, all the while muttering away to myself. Another coworker finally came up, swiped the door, and let us both into the building. He gave me a very strange look, and I didn't realize until I put it back in my wallet that I had the wrong card. Some mornings my brain is a screen door. Person B. One morning I was getting on the bus and I kept trying to hand the bus driver my pass only to realize after a few tries that I was holding my learner's license and my bus pass was still in my pocket. On another separate occasion I woke up at 6 a.m. thinking it was 7 a.m. and I went to the bus stop an hour early. After realizing my mistake I just sat at the nearby park bench and waited for an hour. There have also been a few occasions where I've gone to the bathroom because I had to relieve myself, and as soon as I entered the room I just stood there for a few minutes trying to remember why I was in there. Number 21. I've done a number of things that could have easily gotten me killed. These weren't your run-of-the-mill reckless youth activities, but seriously ill-advised decisions to walk headfirst into clear and obvious danger. When I was younger, I also began to really enjoy getting into fights. By that I mean I began to enjoy inflicting pain on others. I started looking for any excuse to start shit with anyone. Looking back, I think it was the only outlet for anger I had. It made me confront a lot of uncomfortable truths about myself. Make sure to share your personal story in the comments below and have the opportunity to be featured in a future video. Also, if you like these topics, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button to continue seeing more content like this every day. See you next time.